What I want more than anything is I want kids to be equipped to speak and write and think and communicate the truth in a world that seems increasingly in need of truth. You have children who really struggle, and they can become overwhelmed, and it can produce tears and frustration and a hatred of the activity. And it is not uncommon to meet children who will say, I hate writing. If we look at, say, the last 30 years or so of writing instruction, there's been an emphasis on creativity and a modernism and self-expression and things that all sound good, but don't necessarily help children who need basic skills. How do we overcome this? It's not in teaching methodology of how do we get it out. Really, the problem lies on what are you putting in. You can't get something out of a brain that isn't in there to begin with. How many of you have ever had this experience? You wanted to write a story. So you got out some paper and you started writing a story, and you wrote for a page or two or three or four, and you stop, and then you read what you wrote, and you thought to yourself, oh, this is not as interesting as I had hoped it would be. Has anyone had that experience? So today we want to study that, how to write a good story. In a way, there's nothing new about what we do. It's based on the idea of imitation, using existing good writing, and then retelling, rewriting, representing ideas. And in the process of representing these ideas, they're able to learn how the composition of the English language works. If I said, everybody take out some fresh paper and write the story using this keyword outline, how many of you could do that pretty easily? Excellent. How many of you could do it for $100 cash? Once they gain the basic skills with a couple years of structure and style, their creativity explodes. They're out winning essay contests, winning story contests, getting published, going off to college, having their teachers say, this is the best paper I've ever seen. Where did you learn to do this? I've heard children say, and I've heard teachers and parents report, I'm really learning how to think. If you want to think of something, Caleb, you have to ask yourself a question, right? Thinking and learning to think is integrally connected with learning to ask good questions. People look at it and say, oh, that works in a homeschool, but it would never work here. Or people would say, well, that would work in a classroom, but it wouldn't work here. Whereas the truth is, it's a system that works anywhere for everybody. The hardest thing about learning what we do is just doing it. Just open it up, put in the DVD, sit down, and start learning.